We live, baby. We live. Okay. Hey, welcome back to the third episode of Making Money Moves. I am your host, Aaliyah, obviously. And today, so last week, I talked to you all about Ethereum is what we ended up with. We ended up with Ethereum and Bitcoin for my money tip last week. So we will start this week with Ethereum and Bitcoin and how Ethereum is projected to make more money than Bitcoin did. Ethereum is it's basically technology, so it gives you more than one platform to be able to do more than one thing versus what Bitcoin gave you. So hopefully now, recently, I know the SEC had a meeting, or they didn't meet. They were supposed to meet about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and which did make the price drop a little bit because people are scared about, if you're going to have to claim it when it comes to your taxes, if you're not going to have to claim it when it comes to your taxes, what you're going to have to do. So the price has dropped a little bit, but it's still projected to do more than what you have seen with Bitcoin so far. The price did drop, but it is also rising again. So the article that is up actually talks a little bit about Ethereum. It gives you, excuse me, it gives you some of the background about Ethereum. It gives you like who made it, what they did it for, everything else that they are doing. So it might be worth you looking into. I have looked into it to see how much money I'm going to invest in it. So I will be investing some. How much in money I'm going to invest is we don't know yet. But they will get some of my money because I do want to see, the way that the future is going in the way of money and currency, where we are going. Everything is going to be digital. So you either need to get with it or get lost. Base is really what it comes down to. So for people that are looking to invest, that are looking for these things, that might be something that you want to look into because, it is a way of the future. Okay. So that is our tip from last Tuesday when I had Kyra here. She also talked to you about investing, basically not living check to check is what she talks to you about saving a percentage of your check or a percentage of the money that you get paid. If you get paid cash, take a percentage of that. You also want to take 15.7% if you get paid cash and put that to the side because that's what you're going to owe for your taxes. Okay. Just throw that in there a little bit, just, give you a little bit so we all understand about these taxes and this saving of this money and these things. I do know saving money is hard. We do live in a world where we act like, we work hard. So, you like to work hard and spend money. But, sometimes we need to reel it back a little bit so we make sure that we are not living check to check and we are on our last $10 worth of gas and we don't get paid till next Friday. I've been there, so I can talk about it now. Okay. But today, our next money maker, my next guest is Kyra Hardwick. Okay. She is a leadership expert. She is a small business consultant. She is also from Michigan. Okay. She is from the D, the real D. Okay. Detroit, not Dallas. For all those people that are about to get offended and say something to me, Detroit. Okay. We are going to talk to her. She's going to tell you a little bit about her business. We are going to talk about how you can take a seminar, take a class from her, how she can help us, help you with your business and making money, how to increase your potential. She finds the potential. She has become an expert at this, but I will let her talk to you about it. Welcome, Kyra, to Making Money Moves.
Hey. Welcome to you too. Listen, to everyone watching, listening, and all that good stuff. I'm super excited to be here.
I'm glad.
I'm super excited to be here. We actually collided about a year ago, like this week. Did you know that? When we were at Black Enterprise.
Yes.
It was like a year ago this week. The memory popped up. So I was like, that's so cool. Yes. So cool stuff. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
I'm glad. Yeah. Okay, so give us a little bit about the Kyra company. So if you look at the screen, her website is on there. You can go on there to kind of check her out and see what she does and how she can help. But we are going to talk about it. So Kyra, tell us about the Kyra company.
Let's do it. So hey guys, so the Kyra company. First of all, 2 Kyras back to back. That's what I'm talking about.
I did 2 Kyras back to
That's
back.
my girl Kyra.
Double K.
Kyra Coffee. So Kyra Hardwick with you today. So the Kyra company is a business development firm, and we specialize in leadership development and infrastructure development of mid-sized to small businesses. Okay. Today, our clients probably collectively hold somewhere around probably about 200 or so million in assets and collateral in terms of their earnings. So that's about our client base.
So which means I need to sit down and take a class. 200 in assets. All right.
Not the Kyra company, our client base. So we're growing too, but we're excited about that. So we're in year 3 of our business. But what we do specifically is we really dig into the business, kind of learning whether you're in growth stage, startup stage, or transition where you're entering a new product or service, or it's just simply time to flip the business so that you can really do great business and make some money. Yeah. And so what we do is we look at 3 primary areas of focus. So that's going to be people, processes, and your profitability pipeline. And so when you bring on an organization like the Kyra company, we are not coaches, we are business developers. So when we're done, your business is therefore developed. Okay. And so typically our clients are in go mode. They know something needs to happen in order for them to make a move. Right. So they have typically been in business about 3 years. Anywhere between 3 and 10 years is where our clients typically come to us and say, listen, help, SOS. We know that you have an operational background. We need operations in our world. Okay. So it's not always the fun or the most exciting stuff, which is why people come to us a little late in the game, but it's necessary. And I always say you cannot pay to start. You can't afford to not start right. And so starting right means you got the right people in place, you have processes installed and in action in your business, and then you have a profitability pipeline that's not hindered because your people don't know how to do the business, work the business. And sometimes that people person is you. It's that one person that can do something really well, but doesn't know how to actually carry it out internally so that they can really replicate it and do it over and over and over again to really make money.
All right. Yeah. Well, okay. So we have people, we have process, and we have profitability, right? Yep. So the people is you basically training your employees or other people to be able to do what you do. Absolutely. As well as you do it. Absolutely. The process is being able to
walk out the actual steps. So let's just say your business is, you have a tax business. Right. So the process is, how do we recruit our clients? How do we onboard our clients? How do we serve our clients? How do we execute? And then how do we add on service and solutions to our clients? How do we help them meet their goals? What are those processes that we have in place to get them through that? And then how do they go out and refer someone to us? And then how do we do it again?
Yes, this process. This is the process that we need. Even she said mid-size to even with small businesses. Yes. I am a small business on every level of small. I have all of 2 people that work with me. But being able, I think, as a small business, even with one person, you're always trying to figure out how to get more clients or how to offer more things to people. And you don't know, and one of the businesses I have is seasonal, but we are open year round. We do offer more things, but still being able to retain clients and retain, and then for them referring other people to you it has been a struggle. Yeah. And it really has been a struggle.
We don't think about it.
No. Until you're in it. And once you're in it and you've been in it for so long and you're like, why don't I have almost 1,000 clients by now? Or why don't I have this set number? Yeah. But you don't really know what else to do.
Yeah. And that's when people typically call us. And we come in and we really roll up our sleeves. And we dig in with you in your business because one thing we know is you know how to do what you do well. I'm not proclaiming or professing to know how to do what you do well, but I am proclaiming and professing to be an operational expert and have been for over 15 years working in a variety of industry. So I have industry knowledge, access, information that can help you do what you do well. We literally will document processes for you that you can add value. First of all, adds value to your business, and then secondarily, when you are ready to hire, so you've got 2 people working with you, but when you're ready to hire, right, you need a manual. That person needs something to work against. They need to know whether or not they're falling within the guidelines, the processes. How do I do my job? Do you have job descriptions? That's base level. Do you have a job description, CEO? Because like you probably don't know what you're really supposed to be doing. And let me tell you this: CEOs are not supposed to be doing the day-to-day tasks. You are supposed to be in client acquisition, your sales, your marketing, and your strategy. That's what CEOs do.
Baby, let me tell you what this CEO do. I do it all. Okay, I am from the marketing person to the salesperson to the person that makes the phone calls, okay, to the person that is doing these letters, to licking stamps, to
exactly.
That is not my job.
That's not your job. You're a high-paid admin,
Lord.
and we're super excited to have you. But we will help you graduate. I'm trying to tell you guys, a lot of us are high-paid admins. I'm a really high-paid admin. I'm good with that. But I'll say that to say, funny. Because you got to know your stuff. And there are things I need to pass on to others, and you start growing and you add value to your business by adding other people, whether it's full-time or part-time. You can contract individuals in. But you do need to make sure that you slowly start to creep out of the business of one, because you can really only do what your hands can do. So when you get to capacity,
what are you gonna
that's
do?
it.
I need to learn. I need to learn how to creep out of this thing right here. Yes. Okay. So what is one thing first? Did you ever think this is where you would be? So how did you get started? Because we see you and we see these conferences and we see all these things. So how did you get started? Did you know? I know you have a background in human resources, but how did you get from Michigan to now Texas with this business that you have with the Kyra company?
So we left Texas at the declination of the economy. So the economy was declining, and then we left. Really, we kind of took a leap in order to really look for an opportunity to do something different. It was the perfect time. Okay. And so at that time, I was working in healthcare, in operations, customer service. I was working for one of the big blues in Michigan. Okay. And so when I left, I didn't have, I could move into an insurance, organization, which is what I did. I transitioned to another, a revenue cycle, a revenue generation business. So that's where medical billing happens. So anyway, went into that, worked for an electrical distributor for a bit. And then I actually was released from that opportunity. And it wasn't because I decided, it was because they had made some decisions that didn't include me any further. Right. And at that time, I was traveling the Gulf Coast, at an executive level, moving and shaking and doing what I thought was the best. And what happened was God was like, hey, girl, that's that private time we've been having. It's time for me to check in with you, and it's time for you to go. And so for 9 months, I went through a process of really trying to figure out what this thing was going to be. And not only what was it going to be, but how in the world was I going to do it? And I had no clue it was going to be the Kyra company. I actually have had a nonprofit for 10 years. Okay. And so I really spent time building the nonprofit. I applied for 1 million jobs. I have a folder like this thick of no's, where I was I had interview after interview, upper level interviews. People, literally the Lord just said, listen, when they talk to you, they're trying to figure out who they're going to have to release in order to get you. And so, I've been in some corner offices, and the Lord was like, girl, he's trying to figure it out. And I was like, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Have a really great day. I knew it wasn't for me. And so shortly thereafter, we kicked it into high gear, and the Kyra company was birthed really after me just doing what I do with my friends. Somebody needed some help with the project, so I get in there and get my strategic bells working, and I map out something for them, and they're like, when are you going to do this for other people? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so as soon as we kind of come to the realization that was a gold mine, so to speak, in terms of what my next step was, we really just started forming it. And so the Kyra company kind of came to be, and we're 3 years old. So it came out of action. Once I lost my job, I didn't go into a state of depression. I went to a state of action. Oh yeah. I mean, you go through all those different emotions or what have you. I won't even act like that didn't happen. But 9 months is how long it takes to birth a baby. And I was really clear about that. So I was in the birthing process. I had to get rid of that corporate pride that I had. I thought I was doing it. I'm suited and booted every day. You got to show up. You got to deliver. And, I'm a double, triple, quadruple, whatever minority. You got to come with it. Like your excuses are they matter not. And so you need to show up and deliver. And that's how I was coached and trained from my days in automotive, to my days in healthcare. You got to just show up and deliver. Yeah. And so that's what we had to do.
Well, you never. What's funny is, when you're the best stories for the people that I hear is when your back is against the wall. You find out the type of person that you are when you have no choice. It's kind of like, we play basketball, so if you're down, you got the ball, what you got to do. It's kind of like a leader and someone that is strong will always keep the ball. I'm not passing. I'm not trying to do any of those things. I'm going to take the last shot. So that's basically what happens when you're forced kind of to what you're going to do. I was in the same situation, teaching actually, which is, as a teacher, I was
happy Teacher Appreciation Day. You still did it. I'm super excited that you did it.
But it definitely, when you are forced to do something, to figure some things out, and it's only you make the decision because you still have to live. Those bills don't stop coming in every month, or every day, however often they're coming. You have to make a decision, and I definitely had to do that as well as you did. So that is definitely one of those things that have come out of that, and this is where we are today.
Yeah.
From that. So what is one thing that you do that you've learned that you'll never do again? Like one of the things in the process that you're like, oh, let's never do that again because it didn't work, or it taught you something, but it didn't do what it was initially maybe supposed to do.
I think, that's good. That's real gooey and stuff. So I think it's more, I don't know if it was really like a task or an activity or an event. I think it was more in my head.
Okay.
So I'm a daydreamer.
Oh, I do too.
I go into visualization, and I just believe in the power of manifestation. I believe that God will really walk and talk through, you being in that space of reflection. But the other side of that is if you don't really have a lot of positive and helpful stuff going in your head, you get caught up in whatever's in there. And I think the biggest and the greatest challenge that did not serve me was really getting caught up in the noise in my head. And I would always say, it's so noisy in here. Like, I got to get rid of these distractions. And it really wasn't a person, place, or a thing. It was just a conglomerate of thoughts, some negative, some, counterproductive. And they just really started to converge. And you've got to fight through those things. I think that was the biggest thing. Don't let it get in your head. You do so much so well, so long, and then all of a sudden the bottom falls out and you're trying to figure out, was that real? Am I real? God, do you still love me? Am I still, am I good enough? What's the matter? Is my birthmark in the way? Like, what's causing? You start going But in all seriousness, you really start to go into this we'll call it that sunken place, right? You're in your head.
Oh, man.
It's dark in there.
It is. And there's nothing, but when you get to that space of this sunken place, there's nothing anybody can do.
No.
I don't think people realize that either. Other people on the outside.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to get me out of this sunken place. I have to get me out of this place.
You got to do it. And you literally, and I know for me, I don't know about what it is for you, Aaliyah, I have to hit like that brick wall, like boom. Because I have to get the stuff shook out of me. I have to hit the wall. And when I hit it, I bounce back. It doesn't mean it's a violent situation. Sometimes I just have to hear a word. I have to hear a message. I have to read a scripture. I have to read a book. I keep books on hand in my Kindle, in front of me, magazines. I always try then to replenish my information, my database, so I have some good stuff to really run on. So for me, I have to hit that God wall in order for me to snap out of it. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm one of those people, I don't hit a wall, though. I get real quiet for a couple days. I'm not like answering the phone, doing any of those, and I'm just like, Aaliyah, like, what's the problem? But I talk to myself. You know how I'm one of those people that when you go to the gym and you get tired and you like, I don't want to lift this, I don't want to do this treadmill, and I talk to myself like, suck it up, Aaliyah, like you need to get it together. Suck it up. You shouldn't have got to this point. You shouldn't have got out of shape. Get your life together, basically. So I talk to myself like a coach is like, my basketball coach in college used to tell me, Aaliyah, if you touch the ball, you can grab it. I used to be like, no, I can't. There's a difference. No, if you touch it, you can grab it to steal it and go the other way.
Yeah.
So that's what you need to
Same
figure out.
concept.
So I do that to myself to get me where I need to go.
That's good. That's self-talk. That's that reiteration of that positivity. You got whatever it takes for you to snap out of it that's the thing. But that was the one thing I think that didn't serve me and doesn't serve me. And so I really try to stay as far away from that place as possible.
Right. Okay, so let's get back to your website.
Yes.
Okay, on there you ask people to do a survey.
Yeah.
So tell me about the survey. So what do you get from the survey, or even if they can't answer all the questions from the survey?
Mm-hmm.
How does that help you to help them? And then let's answer that first, and then I'll go to the next one.
So I think the biggest thing for us is to understand what people are experiencing. Okay. And so a survey for us does that. So if we can at least understand kind of your basic demographic and then what's going on in your world, that's what brings new programs and products for us. Okay. And I'll tell you one thing that's kind of sprung up from there. So we've launched the Smart CEO Breakfast Series. And so I don't know if you've seen that, but the Smart CEO Breakfast, this will be our third one on May 24th. We'll be at Posh Liquors.
It's a brunch.
It's a breakfast.
A breakfast.
This is breakfast for the elite. We start at 7:30
Yes.
a.m.
Okay. So I was told about this breakfast that you have, and I was like, oh, let me ask her before I say something about it. Okay, so I was told about this breakfast that you have, that it's like from 7 to 8:30 or 7 to 8 o'clock.
Yep, 7:30 to 9.
You can still go to work afterwards. Yes. You don't have to miss anything, but you bring someone in.
Yes.
To drop these gems on us.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
So I'm all about full circle. So this is really cool. And we actually just launched the website last night. So I'll actually send you the link. Okay. But it's TKC, the Kyra company, smartceos.com. And you can go there and you can actually register now for the breakfast. So the way we do it is we have obviously our client base, but then even our network. Mm-hmm. We invite someone to host. And this time we're actually going to be having breakfast at 7:30 a.m. inside of a liquor store.
Inside of a liquor store.
You don't even understand.
We get mimosas during this.
You don't
inside
even
this liquor store right now.
It's gonna be so amazing. It's all about the experience. So the business owner is one of the youngest liquor store retail owners in Houston, and she's actually hosting in our store. We have some of our other clients that'll be providing breakfast, and then we invite our entire network out into $25 breakfast. It's amazing breakfast. It's full breakfast. Like, it's not a continental breakfast.
Okay, that's
but
good.
You come out and you're actually going to get insight on your business. I provide business development solutions concerning the infrastructure. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a tax professional, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So we bring those professionals in that can help support your business. So if you're in our community, we want to support your business. So when you show up this month, you're actually going to meet Rosa Weaver, a tax advisor and attorney, and she's going to be talking about sheltering your assets. Kind of what you don't know will serve you well. So she's going to show you some of the ways that you can manage your capital and make sure that you set up correctly so that you can be sure that from a tax perspective, a legal tax perspective, y'all need to connect, that there is an opportunity for you to actually to gain some insight. She'll show you tools and techniques and share with you information. And she is a beast. Listen, we don't bring gameplay. I can't even get it out. We bring game changers to the table. And so Rosa will be there. I'll also be offering you an opportunity, obviously, to work with us. But we want to make sure you know this. Number one, we bring our network to you. And then number two, we want to support your business. And so this is a platform of development and training. Mm-hmm. We will offer you an opportunity to work directly with the Kyra company to help build your organization. And then you have access to these resources nonetheless as well. So that's what this Smart CEO Breakfast is all about.
Yes, I will. And tell me what's the date?
It is Thursday, the 24th of May. It's the fourth Thursday of the month. Okay. And so it's 7:30 a.m. We'll be at Posh Liquors, and it's downtown San Jacinto, May 24th. Yeah.
It's going to be a long day that day for me.
It'll be worth it.
It will be. I will be there. I will be there. I do leave and catch a flight at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Okay,
but
I will be there. I have all my bags in the car.
Yes, come eat with us and really get digging. Yes, typically about 35 CEOs in the room. Mm-hmm. It's for the elite. Yes. So beware.
Yes, I will. this breakfast, let me see. I'm going to post the link.
Yeah.
I'll post the link on Instagram, but I'll post it on Facebook so that you guys can click directly on the link and be able to, if you are in Houston, if you decide you want to come out here for Memorial Weekend, because that is right before the holiday. If you will be in town or you want to come, I will post the link so that you will be able to see, and kind of be able to get some of these gems that she's dropping. These assets with this tax person, it'd be fantastic. I need to figure out where to do some of these things.
Yes. We have more money than we probably realize we do.
Yeah.
And then we need to start now, manage your 10,000 like you manage your 1 million.
Yes.
And start putting some of those controls in place.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just need to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I need to figure out, how to do it. And if I can get that from her at this $25 breakfast, y'all.
Yes.
Because y'all got to spend more money than that when you go anywhere else anyway.
That's right.
Unless you go, yeah. So, okay. All right. So this is, let's come up with this money-making tip. So give us, every week, we have a money-making tip that I ask our guests to give us outside of whatever I'm going to talk about. So give us a money-making tip that you would, that you have.
Yeah.
Give us a money-making tip.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is my tip. And it is probably one of the smartest moves I've made in business solely by myself, is to insure your business professional liability, and then insure the executive of the business, insure the CEO. So that means there's disability insurance, long and short term. Obviously, you want to have adequate life insurance, but you want to make sure that if something happens, the Kyra company today is most of the tasks from a consulting perspective are primarily performed by Kyra. In the future, that won't be the case. But if something happens, if I go ice skating and break my leg and I'm down for 2 weeks, the business should not suffer.
Right.
And I should not suffer financially.
Right.
So securing insurance around myself as the owner, as the sole owner of the business, and then of course insuring the company, that ensures that any debts that I have, any obligations that I have from a personal perspective don't have to go unaddressed or unmet because I'm down.
That makes sense.
Absolutely. There is money coming in because I've insured my business, and then you just draw from those resources. And so that is one of the, I think, the smartest moves that I made.
I've heard someone else that says that she works with her hands a lot.
Yes.
And she asked me one day if my hands were insured because of what I do, and I said no. Like my business is insured.
Yeah. But
my hands are not. And she was like, so what happens if something happens and you can't type, or you can't go hang some flowers, or you can't go, what are you going to do? You're just not going to get paid because you. No, you. And I didn't even, and I thought about that, like, dang, I need to go insure my hands. Yeah. Insure, but I've never done it. I still haven't done it.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
I still haven't done it.
And we think, and it's not expensive.
It's not
expensive. No, I mean, it's insurance. It's not expensive, and it's a business expense. What do you do with business expenses?
Oh, we write them all off.
So
absolutely,
let's be clear.
Write everything off.
Yes, it needs to be drafted from your business account. It needs to be on you as the business owner and written as such. And then you make sure that there are resources to consistently and continuously pay your premium. And be clear about the fact that you are now insured. I feel so much better having done that.
That you're insured.
Absolutely.
I need to call someone to get these
I got somebody for
good old hands insured.
Yeah.
Don't mind this need a refill nail. But anyway.
They're cute because you got the new matte polish on there. It's cute.
Girl, they just Lord, I'm gonna keep them down so we can't see that they need to be done. Okay, so this week, my money making tip is about investing in marijuana. Yes, I am talking about cannabis. Okay. So there are, if you it's a lot of things that cannabis, marijuana, weed, whatever you would like to call it, but we're going to stick with marijuana today. There are a lot of things that it is being used for that literally can help you as of right now for different things. Obviously, we know that it helps with glaucoma for people that, have glaucoma and the doctor, this is what you need to do. They also have turned into oils. They have also, they've turned it into a lot of different things that help you, because it is a plant-based. It is, grown from the earth. There are some arguments about marijuana and what it does and does not do, or how it does and doesn't help. But right now, because there are so many different states that are legalizing marijuana, it is a good investment actually to look into, from either becoming someone that can grow it, or someone that is, being able to sell it or grow it, or something of the kind, for what you need to invest in. So we will talk about marijuana next Tuesday with our next guest. But I do want to thank Kyra for coming in to talk with us today, and to drop some knowledge on us, and a lot of things that I did not know that I will be calling her, so that we can get some things started. And I will be at this breakfast. So for those that want to see, we'll see if I figure out a way we'll be able maybe to go live from it for part of it, so
Absolutely.
you'll be able to kind of see what's going on and kind of what it looks like, because it's definitely a unique situation being in a liquor store. So I do want to thank you for coming out to talk to me today. You guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is available. Making Money Moves is the YouTube channel. You can also, I do have 2 episodes on there, but it is new. So go ahead and subscribe to get these users up so I can post this. It will also be on iTunes. You all can go there. It will be off of my Kyra's Tax Service website. And then like the page on Facebook, Making Money Moves on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you again, Kyra, for coming to talk to me today. And we are out.